Podcast time.
What up?
What up?
How it goes?
How it be? What you drinking there?
Gorilla Mind Tropical Storm.
Interesting. Never seen it. Gorilla Mind.
Vitamin
Gorillas
shot.
have good minds?
I guess so.
You don't even. You about to get a gorilla mind and you don't even know if they got good minds?
Nah, that's like Red Bull gives you wings. That's just slogans and
Caleb,
things.
Google if gorillas have good minds. I mean, I would assume like
Aggressive. Brings out the
That make
aggression.
you aggressive?
I don't feel aggressive right now. I feel great.
Good.
Gorillas are considered to be highly intelligent and complex. They have many of the same mental capacities as humans, including the ability to understand intentions and pain.
So that is definitely making you complex.
I didn't need that. I didn't put
Complex
that away.
enough.
I'm very complex.
Last night in Wednesday night service, your parents and your sister and you got to lead worship together. That's a cool moment, huh?
Yeah.
Did you know that was coming?
I did know that.
And?
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's cool, right?
Made me a little bit emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was I mean, unique. You know, you growing up, and especially over the last 10 years since I've been away from home, I've always, wanted that to be a thing, that we could do this together someday or sometime. But to be able to do it together via technology, and the technology we use every week with campuses is super dope.
Super cool.
Yeah.
What was their feedback from it?
I haven't talked to him yet. I was going to talk to him. Well, my sister texted me and said it went great, but I haven't talked to all of them. I usually call them like once or twice a week, and we'll chat. So hopefully I'll call them later today. And
do you call them separately or you call them together? So your parents are your dad is older than your mom, and your dad has gone through some health issues in the last few years. Maybe 2020, was it 2020 when he fell?
2018.
2018. Wow,
or
it's
17.
been that long ago.
I think it was 17.
And that was kind of the first, like, this guy's always been a superhero, and then he falls off a ladder. Was it a ladder or the
fell
roof?
off a roof.
Okay.
Yeah,
And,
it was crazy.
and that was
I
kind
chuckle
of
about it now, but it was terrifying.
that was
man.
kind of that first moment of, okay, Dad, you can't get on a roof anymore.
My mom told him no more ladders in the house. So I think they have like one ladder, and it's like under supervised.
4 foot tall, you know, one of those.
Yeah.
So Dad's going through some health issues, which it's just part of life. You know, people get older.
He's getting older,
and
but he's doing great.
Still in
so,
great health.
yeah.
Great mom's great health. But as time goes, my mom as well. Like how, like you say, you call them, weekly or whatever. Like you calling them separately, you calling them together. You saying, hey, on Tuesday I'm on the way home. I'm FaceTiming you guys. What does communication look like with parents that are 4 hours away from you?
A lot of the times it's like on a late night for me. I'll call them on the way home.
They night owls as well.
So a late night here for me is like 9 o'clock, 9:30. Yeah.
Okay, a late night here.
Yeah, a late night
Gotcha.
here at the church when Liv's already gone.
Gotcha.
I'll call, and a majority of the time they'll put me on speakerphone, so I get to talk to everybody all at the same time.
Your sister still live there at the house with
Yep.
them?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So every
Good.
once in a while when she's there or in the room, we'll get to talk. But if I don't get to do that, I'll call them separately sometimes.
Yep.
But I talk to them, on a regular basis, two to three times a week.
Awesome.
Two is a solid number. But yeah.
Like if you had to say, the last podcast I did, we did a podcast with Carson and Carson.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot about like parents and upbringing and how you were raised and things of that nature. Obviously you were raised in a worshipful home.
Mm-hmm.
Worship was a part of your life, part of your culture, a part of the home.
Yeah.
Like parents watching this or people watching this, they're like, man, I want my kids to grow up to be worshipers. Give it like obviously your mom's an amazing piano player and singer, so she was sitting down playing songs, singing songs with y'all. The average parent can't do that.
Yeah.
But what's something that the average parent can do out there watching this that says, man, I'd love to create an atmosphere inside of my home or inside of my kids for worship? What's something that they could do to kind of cultivate that inside of their kids?
Don't make it something that's just at church. Bring worship and make it a normal part of your everyday life. And when I think I've noticed this in my friend's life and in people in my life that I've seen grow up, even family members cousins that I've been around, and their moms and dads and things like that. When they get in the car, it's jam session time, and it's country music, Shania Twain, like that's what I grew up around, like that kind of stuff.
Oh, Shania.
Yeah, different artists like that.
Oh, I had a Shania Twain song in my head, but I couldn't think of it right there.
Man,
It almost
I feel like a woman.
That's it, man. I feel
Yeah.
like a woman.
Shout out Shania. But you can even see it in their lives how it's relegated to church, and this isn't something we do all the time, but worship is something we do at church, and that was not my life at all.
Yeah, not my life at all either.
Complete opposite. Like,
Yeah.
Worship was something we did all the time, and I had to sneak to listen to something other than worship
Same.
music, and so for me, like, worship was the normal. It was something that we did. It was really just the overflow of life and who we were, and it became something that I desired to do, even without them around. And it, once I started playing guitar and different things, and it was just something that, just kind of was the overflow of who I was.
Let's talk response in worship. You did a devotional this past week. If you're watching us on YouTube, go back and watch his devotional. He talks about some of the Hebrew words and what they mean, and how the reaction to them are. Halal and Zamar and Roskanu. And Tada.
Yeah.
Tada. What is it? Tada or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
But let's talk response in worship. I saw a video from Mark Driscoll today, and he was talking about how if the angels can worship the Lord, they haven't been redeemed. They didn't have to experience the blood of Jesus Christ. They just worship him for who he is.
Yeah.
And he's like, certainly
Those
we
of
can
us
worship
who
him.
have been redeemed. Yeah.
Not only for who he is,
Yeah.
but also for what he's done.
Yeah.
Right? And so anyways, it was really, really cool concept. And he was pushing it more to his congregation about a response to worship, a responsive worship type moment. And so let's talk your leading worship, and there's times where you feel the crowd's not with you. And again, I hate when people take verbiage and try to twist what I'm trying to say. The congregation that you're leading in worship.
Yeah.
Maybe they're tired. Maybe they stayed up too late to watch a football game the night before. They're distracted. It's a rainy day. They feel, yucky, whatever. There's some mental hurdles that people have to crawl through before they get to a place of worship, and they're not crawling through them.
Yeah.
What are some things that are going through your mind during those moments?
Oh, that has changed over the years.
Okay.
Too.
Let's hear it. Let's hear what's happened. 10 seconds on how it used to be, and then let's hear where it's at now.
Man, I suck. I'm terrible.
You personally, like I'm doing something wrong right now.
Like I don't need to do this anymore.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where's it at now?
Very different, because I think it just, my own heart in worship has changed a lot. Obviously I want to be excellent and operate in excellence and do a great job, and just that's just who we are as people.
Sure.
And as a team. Like that's the heart that we want to operate in. But I think as an adult now, as somebody who has dealt with issues and has to process through a lot of stuff and comes in with my own distractions, I recognize that maybe sometimes people come in and they don't understand that in pushing through this stuff that they've got going on in their mind, that it's not fake. I've said this. I probably said it on a podcast before, that when you push through, that is called faith. Like, right. It is enabling your faith to take action and say, God, I don't feel like doing this right now, but I'm going to push through this moment anyhow. and I'm gonna lift my hands, or I'm gonna bow before you, or I'm gonna shout, or whatever that looks like for you, whatever that response is, or the complete opposite of they have found this comfort zone that I've kind of talked about in my podcast, and they don't really want to get outside of it, maybe because they don't know or haven't experienced the freedom that comes with being outside of their comfort zone.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
So you have moments where you're going, hey, let's stretch our hands to heaven.
Yeah.
We're just trying to encourage getting out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Trying to encourage a faith-filled response.
Absolutely.
It's not that the view of everybody's hands lifted is cool.
Yeah.
But that is not what we're doing. We're trying to.
I don't get glory from that.
Right. There's no Simeon did a good job because everybody raised their hands.
And I think that's one of the places that I'm come from is like, this response isn't for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of in a similar sense when we talk about offering and worship. Like this isn't for us. Like, this is for you. This unlocks something for you. Yeah. And I view worship in the same way. Like, if you clap, thank you. Like, if you're doing it for me, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
That's not where the freedom comes from.
Right.
Like, it comes from because you responded. There is an unlocking in the atmosphere. I feel like, in that scripture it talks about that the Lord responds to the praises of his people, and he inhabits or abides in. There's a place that happens where he comes into that, and it enables even a tangible presence to be unlocked. Not that it's not here, but that your awareness of it comes in to play, that you say, oh, I sense the Lord. Like, there's something powerful happening in this moment.
Yeah, it's really hard to get to a place in ministry. It's not hard at all to get to a place in ministry where you start internalizing stuff and think it has something to do with you. It's really hard to get to a place in ministry to where you can say, this has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Yeah. It's still, I've been doing it here for 10 years. And
if I die tomorrow.
Yeah.
If I die tomorrow. Let's say I die, I preach Sunday, walk out of the pulpit and die. The next Sunday, somebody will stand in the pulpit and present the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
If Caleb dies tomorrow, next week, somebody will record this podcast.
Yeah.
I won't be on it. I'll be mourning, but somebody will do it.
Yeah.
If Caleb walks out of the media booth on Sunday, nobody there the next week, somebody will step in.
Yeah.
If you move away tomorrow to Alaska,
break my 47-year contract.
Somebody will lead worship the next week.
Yeah.
And if we're not careful, we get a warped sense of us. And we say, look what you're somebody pat me on the back.
Yeah.
I did a good job. I preached well. Pat me on the back. If we're not careful, our heads start swelling to where we get to a place to where we say, I am actually really good.
Yeah.
I'm actually something special.
Yeah.
You're like, yikes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dangerous place to be.
Absolutely.
Getting to the place to where you say, the John the Baptist, I must decrease so that he can increase.
Yeah.
I'm not worthy to latch his shoes. I gotta decrease.
Yeah.
So that he can increase. And I feel that way in my life every single day.
100%.
I gotta go lower.
Mm.
I gotta decrease. I gotta get less of me.
Yeah.
Upsetting the Graham guy. What's his name? I can't think of his name. Anyways, he was talking about the freedom in death. And there's so much freedom in crucifying self. It's like, man, that's and it's not just in ministry.
Mm-mm.
It's his parents, it's his spouses. I did the dishes, somebody ought to pat me on the back.
Yeah.
I cooked dinner, nobody told me how good it was. And you're like, yikes. Getting to the place to where you say, I forgot where my family was, and somebody was talking about how deserving they were. We were watching Mr. Beast, his new game show.
Yeah.
This guy was like, "I'm so deserving to go there. I've worked so hard," and you're like, "Yikes, bro! We're deserving of death. That's what we're deserving of."
Yeah.
I must decrease so that Christ can increase in every area of my life.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Mm-hmm. Super difficult.
Man.
And this is going deep into the weeds.
Let's go, man. You went there.
Going to the deep weeds.
You dove in. Let's dive.
I think there's a humility that we try to seek after, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially in ministry, that it's a righteous desire. But I think even in seeking that humility, and this goes into personal stuff that even we've been talking about recently, that you almost feel like you have to do stuff to feel even validated in who you are and what you do in ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because that you've tried to be humble and you've tried to say, God, I know this isn't about me, and this is for you. But you still have to earn it somehow.
Somehow.
And so in trying to earn it somehow, you do, and you do, and you do. And then you get to this place to where you've done yourself out of needing help or allowing people to help, and you've worked so hard that then if you're not careful, you'll get to a place to where you're burnt out of doing, and you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for you that you are forcing us as a staff to kind of evaluate. You've seen it, you've caught it, and that you're forcing us as a staff to evaluate the do in us.
Yeah, we can't keep up the way we are growing and going. We cannot keep up.
No, me and Angie have even like chatted about it around the table at a book study that we did the other day. And talked about that same thought process of, it's not, I mean, we've talked about humility and we want to be humble. It's something that we don't desire things that we've seen from other people.
Absolutely.
But even in that, I think it's not that it's not righteous or unrighteous, but I think it can be not healthy, some of the things that come from that.
Man, because your arrogance says, I have to do this.
Yeah. I have to earn it.
Yeah.
I have to earn something.
If my team walks in and I didn't do this, then they're going to think that I'm this or whatever the path that your mind travels down. And instead of leading people, equipping the saints for the working of ministry, we become doers.
Mm-hmm.
And we struggle saying, I need help. And
there's a satisfaction in things not being able to be done without you.
Yeah. Oof, a satisfaction in that.
Mm-hmm.
You mean you don't know how to turn this on without me?
Yeah.
How come turn it on for you?
Mm-hmm. Or fixing problems because you're the only one who knows the answers to them.
Hey. And that's at your house. That's
Yeah.
with your kids.
Yeah.
It's not just in ministry.
Mm-mm.
It's in every area of your life.
But this is how I feel now, and I'm about to get myself in trouble because I'm talking to my boss right now in a podcast.
Come on, preach it.
But the Bible says when somebody knows to do better and they don't, to him it's sin.
Sin.
And I feel like now, having felt the way I feel about this topic over the last week or so, that it's just not, like, I cannot go that way anymore.
Yeah.
Because if I do, it's unrighteous for me. Not that it's sinful in nature, but that it's, for me, it's not gonna be healthy.
Yeah.
I
love it.
Yeah. I just got myself in so much trouble
in the
if I-
future.
in the
Yeah, I was gonna say,
future,
in the
yeah,
future, I'm gonna be like,
possible.
remember that podcast we were talking about? Are you operating in sinful habits right now, Simeon? How about you? You feel that same way?
Brother, I struggle.
Did I introduce Caleb behind the mic?
I don't
You got a
think it
camera
is.
on you today.
I do, because there's
Nice.
3 up here from
Nice.
an earlier podcast. But I'm kind of in that same boat as Simeon. I move at a rate so fast, and this isn't a dig at my team. I'm just on staff here, so I always learn how to roll with the stuff we get. That I have taken what we have here and done so much more with it without realizing that my team wasn't ready for where we had taken it.
And you've left everybody behind and
Right.
didn't train them or teach
Correct.
them. And so now it's all tribal knowledge in Caleb's head.
Right, which I think people should know because it was 3 steps ago, and I realized that they're not understanding 3 steps ago because they're 5 steps ago, and I'm 5 steps ahead of everybody, and I think that's not healthy for
No,
a
definitely
week
not.
where
Healthy.
I miss or the future of my team as a whole.
It's not healthy for day to day.
Yeah.
You know, it's not healthy for any of our lives to be so far ahead of our team. And because what's going to happen is they're going to be 5 steps back and just go, you know what?
Forget this, man.
Yeah.
Why am I even here?
I'm done. What?
Yeah.
What? If you're going to run at a pace that I can't keep up with you, then and you don't even care that I'm lagging behind,
Yeah.
why would I run?
Why would I try to catch up?
Why would I try to catch up? You don't care.
Mm.
You don't care that I've been running hard, you know, and
Yeah.
so they're going to get exhausted and worn out. So, yeah, absolutely, man. You got to
That's good.
take a breath and do some training. We're not good at that around here. We're really good at global training. We're not good at teach me how to turn this on and what to do afterwards and the ABCs of simple things.
Yeah.
We're not good at that.
Yeah. I think part of it is, especially, I'll speak for me, Caleb, and Tony, especially, because we operate similarly in some ways. But all 3 of us are just like, you should get that already, you know?
It's hard to, and honestly, I say this about you all the time. It's so hard for you to understand how normal musicians are.
Yeah.
It's unfair to all of your musicians that play with you. I tell you that all the time.
Yeah.
It makes me mad to see how is ununderstanding a word? If so, how ununderstanding you are of people who make mistakes on their instruments.
Dursting.
Not make mistakes. Make mistakes and then don't fix them.
Yeah.
You make mistakes, but then you go,
Yeah.
oh, whoops, hit that wrong note.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like your mind can't wrap around that maybe somebody can't figure out what note to hit.
Yeah. No,
Because you're
I can't.
like, I mean, it's the easy progression. It's the 3. Why are they not going to the 3?
Yeah. I mean, the music we play is easy. Church music's easy, especially nowadays. It's easier than it's easier than it was when I was a kid. You know,
Christmas
growing up.
music ain't easy.
Christmas music sucks. I don't like it.
Heart Herald Angels Sing.
Heart the Herald Angels Sing ain't the hardest song ever. It's just really wordy. Really wordy. Lots of words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the hardest one to play? Christmas Carol to play.
I ain't played too many of them. I've avoided them for most of my career.
Like, what's a hard one? What's one you're like, man, that's really hard to play? Relative term, because none of them are hard for you to play, but
They can all be difficult. Like the traditional ones they can all be difficult. But like I said, we've simplified so much as worship leaders and worship teams and church musicians in general over the last couple of decades. Quality-wise, we've had to simplify a lot to kind of keep up. And so I don't know. I don't do well thinking in terms of Christmas music.
Joy to the World, that hard to play? Silent Night.
No.
The First Noel. Oh, Little Town of Bethlehem. Oh,
Little
Holy
Town of
Night.
Little Town of Bethlehem can be difficult.
Okay, there's one.
Yeah.
That wasn't so hard. Just give us the name of one.
I was
Come on.
literally trying to go through I have a mental Rolodex of all
How
things.
about a worship song now that's hard to play? Hard for the band to grasp. Maybe it's dynamically. Maybe it's what's one that we struggle. Maybe it's the rhythm of how it goes.
A new Charity Gale song that was difficult for our band, and vocalist.
Which was called
I can't.
Rejoice. That one.
Yes, Rejoice.
Rejoice, rejoice, and everything I have around.
I think
Rejoice.
for me, I grew up in like the Israel Houghton time, and I mean his songs were hard, like very difficult. And that's
Lord,
when I
you are
started.
good
Yeah,
and your mercy.
that's when I started
endureth
playing guitar. Was that
forever.
kind of stuff, and so now stuff is like just way easier than that.
Yep.
And I
You
mean,
know
he
where I
was-
grew up playing? I
Socastee.
will bless the name of Jesus, boom, boom, praise the name of Jesus, boom, boom, praise to the King of His, boom, 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 boom. I will bless the name of Jesus, boom, 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 no, 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 boom, boom, no, no, boom, 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 ba, na, 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 ba, na, na, na.
I know that song.
That's what I grew up playing.
Yeah.
I played the bass a little bit in case y'all couldn't tell what I was doing there
Little
with my fingers.
Little walk bass.
In case you couldn't tell.
Yeah, we were so zoomed in, you just looked like you had your crooked head.
In case y'all couldn't tell, I played a little bass guitar. Growing up in the church, it was a small church. You know, I say small church. It's you know, small is a relative term. You know, my dad pastored a church of 120, 150 people. You know, good days maybe you know, Easter Sunday 180 or something. And when you are the pastor's kid of a church that size and Sunday night hit and the drummer didn't show up,
You was
you were the drummer.
Yeah.
The bass guitar player didn't show up, you was the bass guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I could play drums and bass guitar. My brother could play guitar. My mom played keys. We all could sing. And so you kind of had to do, I mean, we were no Sloan family, but you had to do what you had to do. We made it work. Caleb, is it possible to learn how to sing?
No.
Or is it just like you wake up, you have an ear, you can hear the notes?
I think it's possible to learn how to sing.
Okay. So somebody who can't carry a tune at all, you feel like you can help them to...
Unless somebody is completely tone deaf, I feel like you can be trained to sing. I don't think Caleb's tone deaf because I think Caleb can hear a note and match that note.
Try it.
No.
Try it right here.
We won't
Not
do
a
it. I
Try
won't
it right
do
here.
it.
All right, ready?
You gon'
Say,
microphone?
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Hit that, Caleb.
No.
Hey, honestly, Reagan sings and plays keys.
Yeah.
And that's his girlfriend. And prior to Reagan, I honestly thought he was deaf. Like I thought like he couldn't hear the notes.
Yeah.
Because he never sung a song on key. The other day we were riding in the car and he's like, still not a good singer, but he's like in key, and I'm like, bro, what happened? Does Reagan like correct you, or does she like
Yeah,
make
she'd
you
be
match
correcting
pitch
me.
just with her? And he's like, she corrects me, and she. I'm like, so maybe you weren't tone deaf. Maybe you actually just needed somebody.
Maybe he's just being a fool. Maybe that's what it is.
That's Caleb.
I knew that the Lord had something better for me than my voice.
All right,
Hopefully.
so I would love for you to right now give us a little "Looking for a City." Just one little.
Caleb has been waiting for
one
this
little
moment.
lyric of "Looking for a
Not
City."
a
Ready?
chance.
One little.
Wait, what? You won't do it?
You're not gonna do it.
No.
Wow.
There'd be
I'm
too many people
surprised.
watching this podcast.
Dang. Give him a
That's-
little bit of taste of what
That's
you.
a small group.
Looking for a city.
Just tell them the story and get
Come
on with
tell
it.
him.
No.
Well, you'll have to ask Caleb to sing "Looking for a City."
For
too.
real,
He'll
do
do it
it.
in small group settings. He just won't do it on podcasts. So
Too many people that can watch this.
too many people that can watch this.
What
It
if
could
the-
go viral.
No doubt about it.
What if just Neil Nolan tunes in one day and has
would
to
love it.
hear- No.
He
I'd
would
get
love it.
bullied.
Neil Nolan would love to hear you sing "Looking for a City." He would absolutely love it.
What if our state administrative bishop
He
was
would
like,
love
let's listen
hearing
in
He
on
would love
He
it.
Jamie
would
Barfield's
love
podcast?
to hear you sing
Not a
University.
chance. Not a chance.
Bless the man.
No.
Bless the man. Give it to him.
Blessed and highly favored. That's on him, not me. That's
Well.
God's thing.
Well, you want to be
That's
blessed
on
with
God.
your singing.
Oh man.
Anyway, that's all I got. You got anything you want to say to the people?
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Peace.
We love y'all.
Let's go.
See ya.